They told you that nuts are healthy, right? But what if I told you that some of the most popular nuts you have in your kitchen right now could actually be doing more harm than good, especially after the age of 60? It might be hard to believe, but certain nuts can be silently harming your health, raising your blood pressure, clouding your memory, and even harming your kidneys without you realizing it. What's worse, most seniors are eating them every single day, thinking they're doing something good for their bodies. I've spent over 30 years working with older adults, helping them regain their energy, their clarity, and yes, even their vitality. And over the years, I've seen it time and time again. How the right foods can restore life, while the wrong ones can quietly take it away. In today's video, I'm going to share with you the shocking truth about certain nuts. 4 that you should absolutely never eat again. And 4 that you should be eating every single day for better circulation, improved brain function, balanced blood sugar, and better sleep. And towards the end, I'll reveal one nut in particular that's linked to memory loss and liver damage, and it might be sitting in your pantry right now. You don't want to miss this. So, let's dive in and start taking control of your health, one bite at a time. Now, let's talk about the nuts you shouldn't be eating. Yes, there are some nuts that are marketed as healthy, but after the age of 60, they could actually be doing more harm than good. Let's break it down. 1. Peanuts, the inflammation time bomb. You've probably heard the myth that peanuts are a healthy snack, right? Well, here's the truth. Peanuts aren't technically even nuts. They're legumes. And this small difference in classification can make a big difference to your health. Peanuts are grown underground, which makes them highly susceptible to mold. Specifically, a mold that produces a toxin called aflatoxin. You can't see it, smell it, or taste it, but over time, aflatoxin builds up in the body and can harm your liver, weaken your immune system, and even increase your risk of cancer. Seniors, whose detox systems naturally slow down as they age, are especially vulnerable to these hidden dangers. But that's not all. Even without the mold, peanuts can trigger chronic, low-grade inflammation in many people. This isn't the kind of inflammation that's loud or obvious, but it's the kind that builds up quietly, affecting your joints, your heart, and even your brain. Over time, this inflammation can contribute to arthritis flare-ups, mental fog, and cardiovascular issues, things that already become a challenge as we get older. And here's a big concern for seniors: the salt. Most commercial peanuts are roasted and salted, sometimes excessively. If you're over 60 and dealing with high blood pressure, this added sodium can make things worse. Even natural peanut butter isn't safe, as it often contains added hydrogenated oils and sugars, ingredients that raise cholesterol and harm your heart. If you're eating peanuts every day thinking you're doing something healthy, it might be time to reconsider. Luckily, there are much better alternatives out there. 2. Cashews, the hidden blood sugar and kidney stone risk. Let's move on to cashews. Cashews have become a popular snack, and they're often found in healthy snack mixes or used in smoothies and baked goods. But here's the catch. While they may taste great, cashews carry some significant risks, especially for seniors. First off, cashews have a high carbohydrate content for a nut, about 9 grams per ounce. That means they can cause a rapid spike in blood sugar levels. For seniors, especially those who are diabetic or pre-diabetic, these spikes can add up over time, leading to higher blood sugar levels, more fatigue, and even worse cognitive decline. But it gets worse. Cashews are also loaded with oxalates, naturally occurring compounds that can bind to calcium in your body, making it harder for your body to absorb this essential mineral. For seniors who are already at risk of osteoporosis or calcium deficiency, this is a major problem. Worse yet, oxalates can accumulate in the body, contributing to the formation of kidney stones, an extremely painful condition that becomes more common and dangerous with age. Another risk with cashews is that they can easily become a choking hazard. Cashews are smooth and curved, and their texture makes them easy to accidentally aspirate, especially in seniors with swallowing difficulties, which are common as we age. So, while they may seem harmless, cashews are one of the most frequent culprits behind choking incidents involving nuts. Finally, let's talk about how cashews are processed. Most cashews are heavily steamed and cooked to remove toxins they contain in their raw form. But during this process, many of their beneficial nutrients are lost. What you're left with is a nut that's not doing much for your health. 3. Macadamia nuts. The silent weight gainer. Now, let's talk about macadamia nuts. These nuts may seem like a luxurious treat, and they're often marketed as a heart-healthy snack. But don't be fooled. Macadamias come with a heavy price tag when it comes to your health. Macadamia nuts are extremely high in fat. Just 1 ounce contains around 200 calories and 22 grams of fat. For seniors whose metabolism naturally slows down with age, this is a problem. Eating a handful of macadamias can be like consuming the calorie load of an entire mini-meal without even feeling full. It's a form of silent weight gain that sneaks up on you over time. But it's not just about the calories. Macadamias are also one of the highest in saturated fat, with around 3 grams per ounce. Saturated fats can raise your LDL cholesterol levels, putting more strain on your heart, something seniors are already at risk for. If you're managing cholesterol or blood pressure issues, this kind of fat can quietly undo your progress. And here's another issue. Macadamia nuts can trigger problems for people with gallstones. As we age, many of us develop gallstones without even knowing it. If you're someone who has a tendency to get bloated or uncomfortable after meals, macadamia nuts might be contributing to that. The high-fat content can trigger these stones to move, causing painful attacks or even leading to emergency visits and surgery. Finally, macadamias are dense and hard, which can make them risky for seniors with dental issues. They're tough on teeth, and if you have crowns, bridges, or dentures, you might crack or damage your dental work while chewing these nuts. The last thing you want to deal with as you age is expensive and painful dental repairs. 4. Pine nuts. The medication disruptor. The last nut on our list is one that many people don't even think twice about: pine nuts. While they're tiny and often used in sauces or pesto, they can cause some surprisingly serious problems for seniors. First off, let's talk about taste. Some people experience a condition called pine mouth after eating pine nuts, which causes a bitter, metallic taste in the mouth that can last for days or even weeks. While this isn't dangerous in itself, it can lead to a decrease in appetite, causing seniors to eat and drink less. For anyone already at risk of dehydration or unintentional weight loss, this can become a serious issue. But there's more. Pine nuts contain compounds that can interfere with the way medications are metabolized in the liver. This can be especially problematic for seniors who take common medications for blood pressure, cholesterol, or mood. These drugs can become less effective, or they could cause unexpected side effects. And, unfortunately, this interaction isn't widely known, so many seniors are never warned about it. Another issue with pine nuts is their high polyunsaturated fat content, which can easily oxidize if the nuts are stored improperly or left on the shelf for too long. Once oxidized, these fats can promote inflammation in the body, which can make conditions like arthritis or metabolic syndrome worse. And just like cashews, pine nuts are a choking hazard. Because they're small and slippery, they're more likely to be inhaled accidentally, especially by seniors with dry mouth. a condition that affects many older adults due to medication or age-related changes in the mouth. These 4 nuts, peanuts, cashews, macadamias, and pine nuts, might seem harmless, but they can have significant negative effects on your health as you age. It's crucial to understand these risks so you can make better choices for your well-being. In the next part, we'll discuss the 4 types of nuts that you should be eating every day, which can help you protect your health, improve your energy, and even support your brain and heart function. Stay tuned. 1. Brazil nuts. The thyroid and testosterone booster. Now that we've covered the nuts to avoid, let's shift to the ones you should be eating every single day. These aren't just snacks. They're natural medicine for your heart, brain, energy, and yes, even your performance in the bedroom. Let's start with Brazil nuts. You might not realize it, but Brazil nuts are the richest natural source of selenium, a trace mineral that plays a crucial role in your overall health. I'll never forget a patient of mine, Jack. He was a retired firefighter in his late 60s, exhausted, mentally foggy, and frustrated with his low energy. Jack had tried every supplement, diet, and exercise program under the sun, but nothing seemed to bring back the vitality he once had. We ran a lab panel, and his selenium levels were dangerously low, something many people don't even think about. So I recommended a simple fix. Eat just 1 Brazil nut a day. Just 1. No pills, no complicated plans. 3 weeks later, Jack came back into my office, and the change was incredible. His face had more color, his eyes were brighter, and he looked at me with a smile, saying, "Doc, I don't know what's in that nut, but I feel alive again." That's the power of Brazil nuts. Brazil nuts are packed with selenium, a mineral critical for thyroid health, which helps regulate everything from metabolism and energy levels to mood and memory. As we age, our thyroid function tends to slow down, leading to fatigue, weight gain, and mental fog. But selenium helps keep your thyroid running smoothly. It also supports testosterone production, something most men don't realize is vital for not just libido, but also strength, sleep, motivation, and mental clarity. What's even more remarkable is that Brazil nuts help protect your nerves. The fats in these nuts maintain your myelin sheath, the protective covering around your nerves. This sheath helps keep your reflexes sharp and your movements fluid. As we age, the breakdown of this sheath can lead to slower movements and decreased mental sharpness, but Brazil nuts protect it, helping you stay connected to your body and mind. The key with Brazil nuts is moderation. Too much selenium can be harmful, so stick to 1 or 2 nuts a day. Keep them in the fridge, ideally still in their shell, and chew thoroughly. It's a small habit that can yield massive health benefits, especially as you get older. 2. Almonds, the bone and brain defender. Next up, let's talk about almonds. I have a personal connection to almonds. They remind me of my father. Every morning, he would sit by the window with a cup of warm tea and a small bowl of raw almonds. He never missed a day, and he used to say, "These little things are keeping me sharp, son." Back then, I didn't fully understand the science, but after years of practicing medicine, I now know he was absolutely right. Almonds are one of the most powerful and often overlooked allies in senior health. They aren't just a snack. They're a daily defense system for 2 of the most vulnerable areas of the aging body, your bones and your brain. Let's start with your bones. After age 60, bone density begins to decline rapidly. Falls become more dangerous, fractures heal slower, and something as small as a misstep can turn into months of recovery. Almonds, however, are rich in calcium, with nearly 100 milligrams in just a quarter cup. But what really sets almonds apart is the magnesium they contain. Magnesium acts like a traffic controller, helping move calcium into your bones where it belongs, instead of letting it clog your arteries. This combination of calcium and magnesium is rare in food, but almonds deliver both in a powerful, easy-to-consume package. Now, let's talk about your brain. More and more seniors are concerned about memory loss and cognitive decline, and with good reason. Conditions like Alzheimer's, dementia, and brain fog don't just steal your thoughts, they steal your independence. But almonds are loaded with antioxidants, especially when you eat them with the skin on. The flavonoids in that brown skin work in harmony with vitamin E to neutralize the oxidative stress that damages brain cells as we age. Studies show that almonds may even help slow the progression of cognitive decline when eaten regularly. And let's not forget about digestion. Almonds are a great source of fiber, around 3.5 grams per serving, helping combat constipation, a common struggle for many seniors. Regularity might not sound glamorous, but it plays a huge role in how you feel, from your energy levels to your mood. I recommend eating 15 to 20 almonds per day, raw or dry roasted and unsalted. Take your time with them, chew them thoroughly, and make it a mindful habit. You're not just eating a nut, you're investing in your future mobility, clarity, and dignity. When you make almonds a daily ritual, your body begins to notice. You'll feel stronger, sharper, and better equipped to handle whatever comes your way. 3. Walnuts. The brain's favorite food. Next, let's talk about walnuts. There's something incredibly powerful about walnuts, especially when it comes to your brain. Years ago, I visited a patient named Harold, a retired music teacher in his 70s, who had recently lost his wife. Along with his grief, Harold was also struggling with memory issues, forgetting names, misplacing keys, even getting confused driving home. During my visit, he pulled out a small jar of walnuts from his kitchen cabinet and said, "I read somewhere that they're good for the brain, and they look like a brain too." That stuck with me. Not just because it was true, but because Harold, in his quiet way, was fighting back, trying to protect his memory and cognitive function. The science backs him up. Walnuts are one of the most potent brain-supporting foods you can eat. Structurally, they resemble a brain, and chemically, they do something even more profound. Walnuts are rich in alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid that helps maintain and build the membranes of brain cells. As we age, these membranes become less flexible, and communication between neurons slows down. But ALA helps keep those connections strong, which is key to preserving memory and cognitive function. But that's just the beginning. Walnuts are also loaded with polyphenols, powerful antioxidants that cross the blood-brain barrier and directly reduce inflammation in neural tissue. Inflammation is one of the main drivers of memory loss, brain fog, and conditions like Alzheimer's and dementia. Walnuts target this inflammation at the source, helping protect your brain from the damage that often comes with aging. Studies show that seniors who ate just 1.5 ounces of walnuts per day for 8 weeks saw improvements in mental processing speed and cognitive flexibility. These aren't just abstract numbers. These are real-life improvements in your ability to remember things, stay focused, and remain engaged in conversations with the people you care about. Walnuts also contain natural melatonin, the hormone that regulates your sleep. As we get older, our melatonin levels decline, leading to restless nights and poor recovery. But adding just a small handful of walnuts in the evening can help you fall asleep faster and wake up feeling more refreshed. These 3 nuts, Brazil nuts, almonds, and walnuts, are true superfoods for seniors. They support everything from thyroid health to brain function, bone density, sleep, and digestion. By incorporating these into your daily routine, you're giving your body the fuel it needs to stay strong, sharp, and vibrant as you age. Up next, we'll talk about pistachios, the unsung heroes of heart health, blood pressure, and blood sugar. Stay tuned to learn how one small snack can make a huge difference in your life. 4. Pistachios, the blood pressure, vision, and diabetes defender. Now, let's talk about pistachios. These little nuts may not get as much attention as other superfoods, but trust me, pistachios are a hidden gem when it comes to senior health. When I was growing up, my grandfather always had a bowl of pistachios on the table, and every afternoon, he'd sit in his armchair, cracking them open one by one. I never thought much of it back then. It was just a quiet habit of an aging man, but now, after all these years of studying nutrition and aging, I realize he was actually doing something incredibly wise. Pistachios are one of the most underrated superfoods for seniors, and they offer a combination of nutrients and therapeutic benefits that few other foods can match. Let's break it down. Blood pressure support. For seniors, managing blood pressure is one of the most important aspects of overall health. As we age, our arteries can become stiffer, and salt sensitivity tends to increase, making it harder to maintain healthy blood pressure. Pistachios, however, are packed with potassium, around 285 milligrams per ounce, which is more than many fruits and vegetables. Potassium helps maintain healthy blood pressure by counteracting the effects of sodium, and it's crucial for seniors who are trying to manage hypertension naturally. By adding pistachios to your daily diet, you can support healthy blood pressure levels without relying on medication. And with 60% of adults over 65 dealing with high blood pressure, this simple snack could be one of the easiest ways to improve your heart health. Eye health pistachios also play a crucial role in maintaining good vision, which is something most seniors worry about as they get older. As we age, conditions like macular degeneration and cataracts become more common, and vision loss is one of the most feared aspects of aging. Pistachios contain two powerful carotenoids, lutein and zeaxanthin, which are essential for eye health. These carotenoids accumulate in the retina and help filter out harmful blue light, protecting the eyes from age-related damage. What's even more impressive is that these carotenoids help slow the progression of age-related macular degeneration, one of the leading causes of vision loss in seniors. So, by regularly eating pistachios, you're giving your eyes the protection they need to stay sharp and colorful. Blood sugar regulation. Another major benefit of pistachios is their ability to regulate blood sugar, making them especially helpful for seniors who are dealing with diabetes or prediabetes. Pistachios have a low glycemic index, meaning they don't cause rapid spikes in blood sugar after eating. They also contain about 3 grams of fiber per ounce, which helps slow down digestion and keeps insulin levels stable. For the millions of seniors managing diabetes, adding pistachios to your diet can make a real difference. They help balance blood sugar and prevent those post-meal sugar spikes that can lead to fatigue, brain fog, and other complications. And because pistachios are naturally low in sugar, they're a much healthier alternative to processed snacks that are high in refined sugars. Mindful snacking and satiety. Here's another interesting aspect of pistachios: their shell. Eating pistachios in the shell has a natural built-in benefit. The act of cracking the shells slows you down, making you more mindful of how much you're eating. It's easy to mindlessly snack on chips or sweets, but pistachios force you to slow down, giving your body more time to register fullness. This makes it easier to avoid overeating, especially for seniors who are trying to manage their weight. Plus, The empty shells provide a visual cue, helping you track how much you've eaten without having to count calories or use measuring cups. It turns snacking into a mindful, calming ritual that can have a positive impact on your overall health. How to enjoy pistachios. For seniors with arthritis or limited hand strength, shelling pistachios can be difficult. But there's a simple solution. You can find pistachios that are already half opened, making it easier to snack without the extra effort. I typically recommend about 1 ounce of pistachios per day, roughly 49 pistachios. Unsalted or lightly salted varieties are best, as too much sodium can counteract their blood pressure benefits. Pistachios are an incredible addition to your daily diet. They support your heart, regulate blood pressure, protect your eyes, and help manage blood sugar. On top of all that, they're a mindful snack that helps prevent overeating, making them a win-win for your overall health. But while pistachios are fantastic, there are still more nuts that can elevate your health even further. In the next part, we'll talk about how simple changes in your diet can lead to lasting improvements in your energy, memory, and overall well-being. Stay with me, because you're about to discover how small, consistent choices can have a huge impact on your health as you age. The nuts you should never eat after 60. We've talked about the amazing benefits of nuts like Brazil, nuts, almonds, walnuts, and pistachios, but now it's time to dive into the nuts you need to avoid at all costs. These may seem like harmless snacks, but they can cause more harm than good, especially as we age. Let's go over the 4 nuts that you should never eat again after 60 and why they can be silently damaging your health. 1. Peanuts, the inflammation time bomb. First on the list is peanuts. Now, many people think peanuts are just a harmless snack, but here's the thing. Peanuts aren't actually nuts. They're legumes, which means they grow underground, and that's a big problem when it comes to your health. Because peanuts grow underground, they are highly susceptible to mold, and this mold produces a toxin called aflatoxin. Aflatoxin is invisible, tasteless, and odorless, but over time, it can build up in your body and cause severe damage to your liver, immune system, and even increase your risk of cancer. What's even worse is that peanuts can trigger inflammation in the body, particularly in older adults. This inflammation isn't something you'll feel immediately, but it builds up over time and can lead to chronic issues with your joints, heart, and even your brain. Chronic inflammation is a major contributor to conditions like arthritis, heart disease, and cognitive decline. And for seniors, inflammation can have a serious impact on overall quality of life, making everyday movements painful and clouding mental clarity. On top of that, many commercial peanuts are roasted and salted, often with added hydrogenated oils and sugars. If you already have high blood pressure, this excess sodium can make things even worse. This can contribute to an increased risk of stroke, heart disease, and other serious health problems. So if you're snacking on peanuts every day, it's time to stop. 2. Cashews, the blood sugar and kidney stone trap. Next up, cashews. Cashews are another nut that might seem harmless, but they come with some hidden risks, especially for seniors. While they may be smooth and creamy, these little nuts can wreak havoc on your blood sugar levels, your kidneys, and even your digestive system. Cashews have a relatively high carbohydrate content for a nut, which means they can cause a spike in blood sugar. For seniors who are diabetic or pre-diabetic, these blood sugar spikes can cause long-term damage, contributing to fatigue, brain fog, and worsening glucose levels. The glycemic index of cashews is higher than many other nuts, meaning they can disrupt blood sugar regulation and lead to further complications with diabetes management. Cashews are also loaded with oxalates, which are compounds that can bind with calcium and prevent your body from absorbing this essential mineral. This can be especially problematic for seniors, as calcium is crucial for bone health. If you have osteoporosis or are at risk for it, cashews could make things worse by interfering with calcium absorption. Even worse, oxalates can contribute to the formation of kidney stones, which are incredibly painful and more common as we age. Finally, cashews have a smooth, curved shape that can be surprisingly easy to choke on, especially for seniors who have swallowing difficulties, which are common with age. This poses a significant choking risk, making them a dangerous option for anyone with compromised swallowing reflexes. 3. Macadamia nuts, the silent weight gainer. Now, let's talk about macadamia nuts. These are often marketed as a luxury nut, and their buttery texture and rich flavor make them feel like a healthy indulgence. But don't be fooled. Macadamia nuts pack an enormous amount of fat and calories into every bite. Just 1 ounce of macadamia nuts contains around 200 calories and 22 grams of fat. For seniors, whose metabolism naturally slows down as we age, this high-fat content can quickly lead to weight gain, especially if you're eating them every day without realizing the impact. This weight gain isn't something you'll notice immediately, but over time, it adds up. It's what I call silent weight gain. You're not binging or overeating, but the high-calorie content of macadamia nuts makes it easy to consume more than you realize, leading to gradual weight gain that's hard to reverse. But it's not just about the calories. Macadamia nuts are also one of the highest in saturated fat, which can raise your LDL cholesterol levels and put unnecessary strain on your heart. If you're already managing high cholesterol or blood pressure, macadamias can undo the progress you've made with other dietary changes. The excessive fat in macadamias is also a concern for those with gallstones, as the high fat content can trigger painful gallbladder attacks. If you're trying to maintain a healthy weight or protect your heart, it's best to steer clear of macadamias and opt for other nuts that are lower in calories and fat. 4. Pine nuts. The medication disruptor. The final nut on our avoid list is pine nuts. Pine nuts may be small, but they can cause surprisingly big problems, especially for seniors who take regular medication. One of the biggest issues with pine nuts is that they can interfere with how certain medications are metabolized in your liver. Many seniors take medications for blood pressure, cholesterol, or mood, and pine nuts can alter how these medications work in your body, potentially reducing their effectiveness or causing unexpected side effects. Another issue with pine nuts is something called pine mouth, which is a bitter, metallic taste that can linger for days after eating them. While this isn't harmful in itself, it can lead to a decrease in appetite, causing seniors to eat and drink less. This is particularly concerning for older adults, as it can lead to unintentional weight loss, dehydration, and other complications related to poor nutrition. Pine nuts are also high in polyunsaturated fats, which can easily oxidize if not stored properly. Oxidized fats promote inflammation in the body, which can worsen conditions like arthritis or metabolic syndrome. This is another reason why pine nuts are best avoided if you're looking to reduce inflammation and protect your joints, heart, and overall health. Lastly, pine nuts are small and slippery, which makes them a choking hazard, especially for seniors who have difficulty swallowing. This is another hidden risk of pine nuts that most people aren't aware of. So, while peanuts, cashews, macadamias, and pine nuts may seem like harmless snacks, they can actually cause more harm than good as you age. These nuts can increase inflammation, spike blood sugar, contribute to weight gain, and interfere with your medications, all of which can seriously affect your quality of life. The good news is that by avoiding these nuts and choosing healthier options like Brazil, nuts, almonds, walnuts, and pistachios, you can protect your heart, brain, and overall health for years to come. It's all about making smarter choices for your body, so you can continue living your best life at any age. In the next section, I'll show you how these small changes in your diet can lead to big improvements in your health and help you feel better, stronger, and more energized every day. Stay with me. This journey to better health is just getting started. Now that you know which nuts to eat and which ones to avoid, let's take a moment to connect the dots. It may seem like something as simple as a handful of nuts couldn't have a big impact on your health. But in reality, the small choices we make every day, especially as we age, add up to make a huge difference in how we feel, how we think, and how we live. You've heard me talk about how Brazil nuts can help boost your thyroid function and testosterone, and how they protect your nerves. You've learned how almonds support your bones and brain, and how they can help combat constipation and mental fog. You've discovered how walnuts improve memory, protect your brain from inflammation, and even help you sleep better. And we've discussed how pistachios help regulate blood pressure, support your eyesight, and balance blood sugar. But here's the key takeaway. You don't have to make drastic changes all at once. You don't have to throw out everything in your kitchen and replace it with a completely new diet. What matters is taking small steps, making one small choice, then another and another. Over time, these small choices can have a massive impact on your health. For instance, just swapping out peanuts for pistachios can help lower your blood pressure without adding a single new medication. Eating one Brazil nut a day can restore your energy and mental clarity. And adding a handful of walnuts to your evening routine can help you sleep through the night and keep your mind sharp. These aren't miracles, they're biology. They're your body doing what it's meant to do when you give it the right fuel. That's the beauty of food. When you choose the right foods, like the right nuts, you're telling your body that it's time to thrive again. And here's the best part. It's never too late to start. No matter your age, no matter where you're at in life, your body is still capable of incredible changes. It still responds to the choices you make every day. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to change everything all at once. You just need to make one small change and keep choosing it. When you walk into your kitchen tomorrow, or when you pass by the snack aisle next time, take a moment to pause. Think about what you've learned today. Choose wisely, and remember that these little habits, over time, will add up to better health, better energy, and better quality of life. It's about waking up every day feeling steady on your feet. It's about being able to remember the name of the neighbor who stopped by, or having the energy to take a walk with a friend. It's about staying in the game, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, and intimately. And it's about feeling strong again, no matter your age. You're not too old to feel better. You're not too far gone to reclaim your vitality. The body you wake up in today is still listening. It's still changing. It still responds to the right choices, and it will meet you more than halfway. So as you walk into your kitchen tomorrow morning, or when you grab that snack, remember, one small change can lead to big results. Start with the nuts. Let that be your first signal to your body and to yourself that you're ready to thrive again. I hope this video has helped you understand the power of small, everyday choices when it comes to your health. Remember, it's never too late to improve how you feel, and you have the power to make changes that will serve you for years to come. I'll be back with more health tips and advice to help you live your best life after 60. Thanks for watching, and take care of yourself. One small change at a time.